Girls, now this is part 2. First one, this is a question you had on your actual one of your quizzes. Remember that you know that this is in vertex form, so the vertex is at 1, 3, and it has to go down for there to be two x-intercepts, which means the answer would be A has to be a negative number. For number 9, we went over something like this in class. So to know which one has no real roots, we're going to put them both in to the discriminant part of the quadratic formula. So I take each of these and I do b squared minus 4ac, solve it out, and whichever one is positive is going to have 2 real roots. Whichever one is negative is going to have no real roots. So when you put this one in, it has no real roots. So we're going to solve equation 1. And what I did was I solved equation 1 over here. I put it in the quadratic formula. You could pause it if you want to check. You end up with this, which becomes this, which I break into the two problems. Here they are. And I solved one of them, which was 5.91, and I didn't solve the other one, but you can do 7 minus root 157 divided by 6. And remember, if you need to get a chance to look at it, go ahead and pause the video. All right. Next one asked you which exponential function represented by this graph. So what I did was I found some of the points on the graph. I found that one of the points was 0, 2. Another point was 1, 6. And a third point was 2, 18. And when you look at that, you could see that the growth factor is times 3. So the number in below the x is 3. And then to look, I just got to find the y-intercept, which is right there, which is at 2. So y equals 2 to the 3x. So the answer is C. Okay. Which of the tables below represents an exponential function? Remember, you're looking for the one that goes times the same thing each time as x goes up 1. And this one over here is times 2 every single time. So that is the exponential function. Next one. All right. First 3 terms of geometric sequence. That means that you're multiplying by the same thing. Well, in this case, you're multiplying by negative 1/2 times negative 1/2. And then you have to multiply again times negative 1/2. So that would be negative 10. So this is the only one that's going to work. For number 4, the equation you would use would be, see, this is after the first round there were 4,096 contestants. So if you want to write an equation, you would need the y-intercept. So instead of each time it decreased by 75%, so instead of multiplying by 0.75, we're going to take 4,096 and we're going to divide by 0.75. And what that's going to do is that's going to get us how many contestants were there before, in the 0 round, like before it started. And you get something like 546.1.33 repeating. So then you're going to do the growth factor, which is 1 minus 0.75. So you have 0.25 to the x power. So right away it says how many rounds will there be 1 contestant? So they're giving you y. So you're going to want to go ahead and graph this equation, and you'll find out after the 7th round is when there's 1 contestant. Which of the following is not true? Well, both functions have the same domain. That's true because they're both going to be exponentials. Just one's going to go up a little higher. Well, actually, they're both going to have the same growth factor. This one has a different y-intercept. So they have the same range. That's true because they're all going to be asymptote to 0. Both functions have the same asymptote. That's true. This would be the incorrect one because if you look at the number in front, the number in front of this one's a 3. The number in front of this one is a 1. So they have different y-intercepts. Okay. We went over number 6 in class. Number 7 we'll do. Original value of a car is 20,000. The car loses value exponentially, so 1 minus 0.15. What will the car be in 5 years? So they're giving you x, so you could put a 5 in there and solve. So 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85 to the 5th power, and then you're going to multiply that by 20,000. and you get about 8,874 and 11 cents. Okay, we're going to do one more on this video, and then we'll go to the next one. Bacteria can grow exponentially. Initially, there were 10 bacteria. The table shows how much bacteria there were. Write the exponential equation. So I can see the growth factor is 3. So y equals 3 to the x power, and remember the y-intercept goes first. Then there should be another question. Oh, nope, that's it. And let me do this one on the next video.